Hello there, it's your girl Daphne back with another video. This video is all outdoors and it's jam-packed with motivation. We're going to start out with my April garden tour. So let's get started. So we're going to get started from right to left, and that's Coral Bell, or also known as heuchera, thyme, and mint. And in the planters back here, this is Autumn Joy sedum on the two outer ends. That's a daylily in the middle. And this one here on the left is also an Autumn Joy sedum. I'm not sure if it's going to make it. Then over in this side garden, which I've shown a couple of times, that's the hydrangea that I cut back in the fall. I also went back in a little while ago because of the buds, and I just cleaned it and thinned it out of the middle. The back is ornamental grass, and this plant is a daylily. You'll see in a lot of the flower beds that I did not do all of my cleaning yet. So by the end of this video, you'll see I'll clean up all of this hosta that had died back over the winter. And so that's all hosta across the rock wall. And as we continue down, this is ground cover that I planted when we first moved in. I cannot remember what type of ground cover it is, but it is pretty. It has a purple flower. Here is more daylilies. Comes out really pretty. My dad actually put those in. He transplanted them from another area. More daylilies here as well, and the hosta around it I will be cleaning up. There's Creeping Jenny or Creeping Charlie. I'm not sure which one that is. I think it's Creeping Jenny. That also is all along the rock wall. I tried to do some cuttings of a sand cherry. So I'm going to see if they took hold in a little while. So we have three evergreens that are planted here on the right side up against the fence. And we have the rock wall that continues down. That also has the Creeping Jenny. I did pine straw last year as ground cover. I think I'm going to continue that. I'm just going to be doing a lot of cleaning throughout. This plant was transplanted from the front walkway. I have to trim it down. That is a cypress, golden cypress, also known as a mophead. It needs to be thinned out. There's a lot of like dead branches in the back there, which I will be taking care of. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Daphne, and I just want to welcome you if you're new to my channel, and welcome back to all my loyal subscribers. Another evergreen we transplanted from another spot. It's grown so much since we transplanted it. It's probably been in that spot about 5 years. And as you can see, I have a lot of cleaning that I need to do. This is a really huge tree there. Those are all roots, and you see the pine straw and also the acorns. This little section you're going to see in the end of the video, I have removed all of the leaves and it's just bare soil ready to be mulched. Also, if you look, this is a daylily there that's popping up, and that's a sand cherry. If you look in the far back at the fencing, you're going to see we're going to replace that with a little mesh fencing. You'll see it in the final shots of this area. My neighbor's yard is a much higher elevation, so we have to get like some type of barrier to hold back their soil and ours, and also keep any like pets or any type of animals that might be out at night from going from yard to yard. So on this side over here, I'm also going to be mulching. I'm cleaning all of this out, so you'll see in the end of the video this side will be clean as well. We have coral bell there, 2 of them, and we have a sand cherry. This is a holly bush, and we also have the creeping Jenny throughout this bed and the previous bed as well. The patio cover will be removed, that blue over there, and it's just going to look a lot fresher. It will not be mulched, but at least it'll be clean. And the next section, this is just a really big evergreen tree that I'm showing you. We had so many pine straw droppings from this tree. It is humongous. I think that it probably is as old as the house. I'm not sure. When we first moved here, this was all covered in ivy. And on my neighbor's side, they still have ivy along the fence line. So it keeps coming and crawling and making its way through the fencing. So what I usually do is cut all of that back. Unfortunately, because they have the ivy on their side, it's going to continue to come back, but we do our part. So all of this will be cleaned up. There is a million acorns all over. There's weeds. We're going to pull out that, and we're just going to clean it up. This little area back here, we're going to do cleaning. This grass is cut down. I didn't get an image of it, but we did cut it down. So the next time that you see the backyard, it will be hopefully greening up. In this little section, that is a daylily there next to the ornamental grass. There's also another flower there, which is a purple flower, which I do not know the name of. This is just a box that we have like gravel in. I have to spray it to get rid of the weeds. And then this is how the patio is looking while we're working. I did a lot of raking of acorns the other day, so those are the 2 bags that were on the patio. And this is just a closer image of what the grass looks like with all of the acorns down. I'm going to be doing a lot of raking, a lot of blowing, still a lot of cleaning, and we're going to try to get this yard into shape. We have 2 planters over there, which I'm going to plant with flowers. We actually built that a couple of years ago, probably like 8 years ago. As you can see, the animals wreak havoc on our yard throughout the winter. So we have to make sure that we get all of the acorns off, all of the debris off, and then I'm going to be fertilizing. So on my channel, I do all things homemaking, and this time of year I like to be outside a lot because over this past year I started doing gardening and I started doing my own lawn maintenance. So I learned a lot over this past year. So you're going to see me doing gardening tours and also lots of other videos outside. So these are the same areas that we just looked at. I just cleaned up all of the dead plants, the hostas that were along the wall, the hostas that were there, and also you'll see in the back I've cleaned out the areas, the flower bed areas. So I took out all of the debris and now it's just ready for mulch, this side and also on the other side. And also, as I mentioned, we put up this mesh fencing to be able to keep the animals from going from my neighbor's yard to ours. And I just cleaned up this area and it's going to be ready for mulch, which we'll be doing in the next week or so. Okay, so next up is just a mini haul from Joann. And what I did was I picked up some florals that I'm going to be using for summer. So the first is this dried yellow flowers. I also got some sunflowers, and I also got, I think these might be Delilah's, I'm not sure. It didn't have a tag on it, but I just thought that it's so pretty and it goes really nicely with the sunflowers, so I picked it up. Next up, I got some spring items. This is a Hop to It flag that I'm going to be using for next year. I got 2 hand towels for the kitchen. They're so pretty. Everything was 70% off. And the last item that I got for spring is these Hello Spring. They're reusable Ziploc bags, so I can use this anytime. And it was $12.99 with 70% off, so I thought it was a great deal. Next up, I got 3 matte paints. I got, this is a light beige, the next one is khaki, and the third one is coffee bean. These paints, because they're matte, it's just going to look really nice with some of the projects that I'm going to be doing. So the next thing is I got some Cricut vinyl. So I got 3 vinyls and 1 transfer tape. I got 2 blacks, one that was just a permanent vinyl, and then the other one is a iron-on, and then I got a navy iron-on as well. So these will be used in a couple of projects that I'm going to be working on in the near future. Now these items I purchased from Joann, but Cricut has an amazing sale that they're running right now, and I will have links in my description so you can visit the website and check out. They have machines that are on sale and also all of their accessories, so take advantage of this amazing sale. Now next up is a couple of wood items that I purchased. These are just wooden wheels. I'm going to be using them in a lot of different ways. I'll probably be making a little beaded garland with them, and also working with a pedestal, which these round shapes here, I probably will use some of those and just turn it into a pedestal. It's going to look really nice. I probably will use the paint that I purchased, one of the brown colors or beige colors, and I'll make it look really pretty. Now I always use yarn with all of my DIYs in the season, so I'm going to be doing sunflowers. So I picked up these 2 colors, and I think that it will really look nice with a lot of the other sunflower items that I purchase. Now each season I always purchase different types of fabric. So this fabric that's here actually is little black checks, and it has little sunflowers on it. So that's going to be working into my theme. Now what I think for summer is I'm going to be doing different themes based on the rooms. So the next fabric that I picked up, it has little cupcakes and little sweets, and it's pink and white. And these are all 18 by 21 inch squares. And the third is black and white pineapples. So I think that will coordinate very well, but it'll be a different theme. And I have to figure out which rooms I'm going to be using each of them in. And the last thing is a French Parisian print, which has like all of the different desserts on it. And this item is duck canvas, and it's navy, and I'm actually going to be doing a DIY in a couple of minutes, so you'll be able to see me use that. And the last thing is a medium tote, which I'm going to be using as a blank for one of my upcoming Cricut projects. So I'm sure all of these items will be used in the near future, and the duck canvas is being used right now. So we're moving on over to the upholstery, and I'm just cleaning off this table. I usually reupholster the centerpiece each year. Now previously I usually use a staple gun, but I decided this year that I'm going to just use my glue gun, since when I upholstered my nightstand last month, I used my glue gun and it turned out really good. If you have not seen that video, I will link it in the card so you can go back and take a look at it. It was really a nice project to be able to do. So as you see, I was able to get all of the fabric off. You can see that it's sunburned and discolored. So I'm just going in and I'm wiping off the wood front and back, and then I'm going to be cutting out the fabric. I'm going to be leaving about an inch around the board itself, so that when I fold it back, I'll have that clearance. Now what I usually do is just go into the corners and I try to fold it in and make it as tight as possible, and then I just go in and I just glue along the edge, and I'm pulling the fabric taut as I go so that when you turn it over it's nice and flat. So you're just going to see me going around doing the same throughout this board. You always want to make sure that your corners are as tight as possible, so I try to do the opposite ends of each corner at the same, well, right after each other, so that I'm pulling it taut. So we're almost finished. I'm just going into this center hole where the umbrella stand usually comes through, and I'm using my seam ripper and I'm just doing like little, I have like a little X, and then I'm going in and doing multiple cuts in between so that when I pull it back I can make sure that it's nice and tight, and I'm just putting a little dab of glue. And here's the finished product. I just staged it. I put a couple of placemats down, and we will be enjoying it this summer. I'm sure you'll be able to see a little more in videos to come where I will be making over the patio, but for now this is it. Hope you enjoyed, and I just want to remind you, if you have not subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe. Please give this video a thumbs up, and please share with any friends and family that might like my content. Until the next time, have a blessed day.